My lords and members of the House of Commons, I am deeply grateful for the addresses of condolence by the House of Lords and the House of Commons, which so touchingly encompass what our late sovereign, my beloved mother, the Queen, meant to us all. But I'd like to make one thing straight. Charlie's in fucking charge now, and shit's about to get fucking real. As I stand before you today, I'd like to address some of the tyrannical shit I'm going to do as king. First off, America, we're taking you back. You cunts have been free for far too long. I will not have it. Australia, you're going to become a massive fuck-off prison again. Fuck you, cunts. India, you're safe. We don't really want you back anyway. Also, I'm bringing that thing back where, like, the king gets to fuck your wife the day you get married, if he wants to. That was a cool rule. Anyway, cunts, adios. I'm out of here. My lord.
All lies will be exposed.
Oh, cheers and salutations. Welcome, everybody, to Hard Lens Media. My name is Kit Cabello, and yes, this is a late evening live stream. Good to have all of you here. Please hit that like button. We are live on X. We are live on Kick. We are live on Rumble, and we're live on YouTube as well. So if you haven't done so already, do it right now. Let's go ahead and hit that like button. But we got a lot to talk about, and I decided to do this evening live stream because This is all one jam-packed segment. I think it's very apropos to talk about maybe this is the true death of the Democrat Party. There is no reform. There is no resuscitation of this party. Jimmy Dore, Hardlands Media, Due Dissidents, RBN, INN, everybody else, even those on the right, libertarians and Republicans, we've all been proven correct about the downfall of the Democrat Party. The resistance was nothing more than just a fart in the wind. And I'm not going to be polite about it. It's time for us to get very real with the full, complete deconstruction of the Democrat Party. So grab yourself a tasty snack and a tasty beverage. I want to give a special shout out to somebody who sat through all of corporate media to get this content up so that we can give a breakdown of it, give our perspective and point of view. But mandatory thumbs up to the individual who goes by the name Case Study QB. Be sure to follow him on X because somehow he sat through all of this and he's still standing, and he deserves some thumbs up. So I better see some thumbs up in the chat for Case Study QB. If you want to help out Hardlands Media, our Linktree, Peacetree is in the description box below. But I think without any further ado, it's important that we do get started with the breakdown of the Democrats and what went down with the Democrats and how they have failed so many people. And it has to deal with how Democrats just gave away their power. And now there is infighting. There's infighting. There is a falling apart of the political party. And there are people calling on Schumer to resign. Will AOC step up? You know she won't. But it has to deal with, again, the House versus the CR bill that was voted on. So what is the CR bill? Just a quick reminder for everybody who is subscribed to Hardlands Media. But we did talk about that recently when we did a couple segments on Representative Thomas Massie, who gave the warning about the resolution and what it is. So first of all, I want to go ahead and bring this video up here and explaining just what went down. So first, let's go ahead and talk about this bill because Representative Thomas Massie explained how Republicans are bailing out Democrats by trying to avoid a government shutdown. So let's go ahead and first pull this up here because Representative Thomas Massie has been one of the few people to kind of call this out. So we're going to start off with Thomas Massie. Let's pull this up here.
Bring in conservative Congressman Thomas Massie of the great state of Kentucky. Sir, it is wonderful to have you. You know, I think the only thing that can save the Democrats now is enough of these fake Republicans work to bail them out. My sense is if the Democrats want to commit political suicide, we ought to let them, right?
Yeah, and just to your point about who's essential and who's not, they let each congressional office decide which of our employees are essential during a shutdown. And I tell all of my employees, you're all coming to work. You're all essential. I'm not going to treat you as unessential. And oh, by the way, you're not getting a paid vacation, which if they didn't pay government workers during this shutdown, after the shutdown's over, Schumer wouldn't be doing this because most of them are Democrats. Now, let's talk about what Schumer is threatening to do. He is threatening to do a filibuster because Mike Johnson offered him the Schumer budget from 2024. This is a continuing resolution. What does it continue? It continues Schumer's budget that he did with Biden in 2024. It's the last 15 months of Biden's presidency.
So in other words, this big performative art, the Democrats said that they were going to resist this bill. No, they're not. Not to mention, you know, all that stuff that DOGE found that was a waste. You know, hold on, wait, folks, here, we're going to have acting 101 here. We're going to have acting 101. Doge found all of this waste, and you had Republicans and Democrats trying to defend it or shocked and chagrined that it's going on. They all knew. And guess what's in that continued resolution? All that stuff that Doge is cutting. It's all a show. My God, there's more consistency from storylines from WCW, WWF, and ECW. You find more nuance and thought-provoking actions in comic books. These politicians aren't serious when they talk about cutting spending. No. We're going to get more debt onto this. And not to mention now, all this song and dance, it was all an act. And now people are wondering, oh, who should replace Schumer? Who should replace Schumer? What do we do with the Democrats? Is there any leadership? I'm going to tell you right now, the Democrats, well, these are little punks. They got no balls. Hold on, pour some whiskey. Get yourself a no, folks. We're gonna get drunk tonight here, okay? Now I'm drinking water. I'm gonna be sober here. But all of you get drunk. We're going to get drunk off the incompetence of Democrats. Hold on, a little bit more from Representative Thomas Massey.
Carried out through the first 9 months of Trump's presidency. It's ridiculous that he's threatening to shut down the government over that, and he's complaining that Republicans didn't consult him. Maybe that's because Republicans thought they were giving him everything he should want. And let's talk about how we got here. Yeah, how we got here. I'm, by the way, the only one who didn't vote for this in the House. I didn't want to continue the Biden-Schumer budget into Trump's presidency. But here's how we got here in September. And some of your clips are Democrats in September talking about this. In September, Mike Johnson said, let's do a CR until after the election. We don't want to screw up the election. We don't want to fight now. So let's fight after the election. Well, guess what? We won the whole shooting match in the election. So what we do in December? We said, let's don't fight now. Let's do another CR of the Biden-Schumer budget until we get a new majority leader, Republican majority leader in the Senate, and we get Trump in the White House. And let's don't do it till January. We were talking about doing a CR in December to get to January. We said, let's do it till March, because then the president will have his legs underneath of him, and the Senate will be operating on all 8 cylinders, and we can fight in March. So we did the CR in December until March. And then here we are, we're the day before the shutdown. And what are we doing? Yeah. We're saying, you know what? We need to punt another 6 months because we're not ready. Wait, we had 6 months to get ready to get here, and we're not ready? Give me a break.
Right there with you, Congressman. I've said, that the Republicans in the past have always promised us, we'll fight tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. Look, Elon Musk has been putting this out. The online influencers like @Amuse, they're sharing screen captures of the Democrats' social media posts. As you can see, we're going to put it up on the screen. They all cut and pasted the same message. In my mind, this shows that Democrats are taking orders from an unseen hand, not their voters.
No, it's the same unseen hand that controls the Republican Party, okay? Because I want to be clear on this one. The people who control the Democrat Party are also same organizations and groups that control the Republican Party, okay? And guess who? Okay, now, and while those puppeteers are playing their little games, guess who's getting screwed up the wazoo? Why, that's you, Mr. and Mrs. America. I want to pull up this little tweet from Easy Street. This was from March 13th, 2 days before the death of Julius Caesar. By the way, today is the day of the Ides of March. Saint Julius Caesar was wrongly betrayed, a man so innocent who never did anything wrong. But sadly, here's what happened. And I was right. It was all performative. Of course, Schumer was always going to go for the continuation of the Biden-Schumer-Johnson. Oh, that's a terrible name. 2024 spending agenda for the first 9 months of Trump's presidency. Breaking: Senator Chucky Boy Schumer has caved. He flopped. He farted, announcing he will now back the continuing resolution passed by the House. Take it away, Chucky Boy. And hold on, I don't think you guys actually saw the tweet, so let me go ahead and pull that up here again. I am so sorry for that. Let's go ahead and pull that up here for all of you to see firsthand for all of you right now. Here it is, Chucky Boy Schumer caving in.
Republican rejection leads us to a decision. And it's not really a decision, it's a Hobson's choice. Either proceed with the bill before us or risk Donald Trump throwing America into the chaos of a shutdown. This, in my view, is no choice at all. While the CR bill is very bad, the potential for a shutdown has consequences for America that are much, much worse. For sure, the Republican bill is a terrible option. It is not a clean CR. It is deeply partisan. It doesn't address far too many of this country's needs. But I believe allowing Donald Trump to take even much more power via a government shutdown is a far worse option. And before I explain why, let me be clear about one thing. No one on my side of the aisle wants a government shutdown. Members who support this CR do not want a government shutdown. Members who oppose this CR do not want a government shutdown.
And you want to know what happened? Here's what happened. The Democrats gave away all their cards. They gave away all their power. They gave away all their chips in the game. They have nothing. There's not a single Republican that's going to be afraid of the Democrats because the Democrats have no leadership. You got Hakeem Jeffries, who's clueless. You got Nancy Pelosi, who's senile and out of her league. And then you have Chuck Schumer. The only reason why they put on this performative thing, remember when they did that cringe video? And I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play a video of 15 or 20 Democrats repeating the same message because I believe that's abuse to you, my audience. And, I like to grow my channel. I don't want you guys to unsubscribe because let's face it, you're going to be hearing the same song and dance from the Democrats over and over and over again. They talked this game of resistance during those 8 years. Do you remember that? The first term of the Trump years? Do you remember even afterwards when Biden got elected in office, the Democrats were all on their high horse, but they never delivered? See, the Democrat Party, and I'm going to coin this term, the entire Democrat Party, it's like the North Pole, but if all of them were drug addicts and meth heads, okay? The Democratic Party as a whole is the meth head Santa. They promise and they promise, but they fail to deliver. Why? Because they're high off their own little methane. All right? I'm trying to be kind here. I'm trying to be gentle here. But here, no, hold on. Let's give a huge shout out to Case Study QB because a lot of these videos are from his X account. So please, everyone, follow him. Here's how the Democrats just crap the bed.
Trump has totally defeated all of them. Their spirits are clearly broken. They are completely lost. In fact, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries doesn't seem to know what to do, what to say. Couldn't even take a position on Schumer today. Take a look.
Senator Chuck Schumer from your state, he clearly has a different view of this than you. He is not saying let's go back to the negotiating table. He's saying let's take this vote. So have you lost confidence in him, the fact that you guys see this so differently?
Next question. I'm not afraid about anything. Anything.
Oh, do you hear the fear in his voice? We're not afraid of anything. Anything. They're not afraid of anything. Oh, no. You're not afraid? Say that. Hold on. Listen to the fear in his voice. He's afraid. You want to know why? The Democrats aren't getting that cash money, which is why they keep on sending you and me so many goddamn emails. Give us $5. No, F you, Democrats. Give me $5. You still owe me you owe all of us that $2,000 stimulus check.
Next question. I'm not afraid about anything. Anything.
You went to another question.
Anything.
Isn't it a yes or no question?
I said I was very clear that we look forward to working with every single one of our Senate Democratic colleagues. Every single one of them. Push back against the Trump administration. Every single one.
If you just said yes to having confidence in him, this would go away in many ways.
Do you think that this is what the American people care about right now?
Isn't that the guy that said earlier in the week that the Republicans were on the run, that they were scared of him? Well, so after tonight's surrender on the budget battle, what will Democrats do next? Will there be more screaming and yelling and singing at press conferences in D.C.? Will they spew even more Hitler comparisons? Are they going to tell us that the sky is falling yet again?
I mean, Democrats, what's interesting, I want to give a shout out to Brianna Joy Gray because she recently had Shama Sawant and good friend of the show, Jose Vega, on her show, respectively, talking about Democrats, people like Jamal Bowman, people like AOC and the squad, when they fail to deliver. I'm going to say it again. When the squad and the progressives fail to deliver. Here, look at this. The man, the myth, the legend, Hakeem Jeffries, the one that AOC seems to be going to bat for. Again, shout out again to Case Study QB. We're going to be playing a lot of videos from Case Study QB, so be sure to follow him on X. Here, listen to this. Listen, just 4 seconds in. It's going to be a little bit of repeat, but I want you to laugh.
Is it time for new leadership in the Senate?
Next question.
Is it time for new leadership in the Senate?
Next question.
Is it time for new leadership in the Senate?
Next question.
Does that boast confidence? Does that even show you now? I mean, is everyone really ready to get serious about the Democrats? Because we have to. We have to talk about how unserious they are as a political organization, as an institution. They cannot deliver anything. all this resistance, all this talk, all of this hype of them being these big, tough guys and gals who will stand up against Trump and all of his quote unquote evil deeds, but yet they're going to continue, and as they are as a party, they're going to continue to make these promises that they're going to resist, they're going to fight back. I'm going to pull up another video here. Shot again, the case study QB. I'm loving every minute of their failures.
The government narrowly avoided a shutdown, but at what cost to the Democratic Party? House Democrats voted against the GOP-led CR bill, giving Trump and Elon Musk even more power than they already have. Instead of allowing the House's lead, Senate Democrats gave Trump and his party the actual win. 10 Democratic senators, led by Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, broke with the party and sided with Republicans to vote for the bill.
Anna Ringwald, is it time for a new Senate? It's time to dissolve the Senate.
Keeping the government open. And just hours after the vote, and emboldened, Trump signed an executive order aimed at gutting several.
Shout out to Tina Medbear. Tina Medbear, who always has my heart.
Federal agencies, including the parent of U.S. government-funded media outlet Voice of America. Now, a Democratic civil war is being waged. Here's how Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez reacted to the Senate's move.
For Senate Democrats to completely roll over and give up, I think there is a deep sense of outrage and betrayal. Just to see Senate Democrats even consider acquiescing to Elon Musk, I think it is a huge slap in the face.
Former House Speaker.
Oh my God, you guys. AOC's upset. AOC is upset. AOC will have to be crying. You know, by the way, I saw that live stream that was hosted by Brianna Joy Gray and Jose Vega. And I didn't notice about Jose Vega, man. But apparently, like, he did work at a coffee shop that AOC would visit. And apparently she likes oat milk. Ugh. Well, I guess she'll be drinking a lot of oat milk coffee. I don't know.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi is also calling out Chuck Schumer, posting on X, "Let's be clear, neither is a good option for the American people, but this false choice that some are buying instead of fighting is unacceptable." Here's what House Leader, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries had to say.
Is it time for new leadership in the Senate?
Next question.
Next question. Next question.
Reaction to Schumer in the Senate isn't great either. Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock, who voted against the bill, says, "I think come 26 or 28, we're going to get some new leadership." And when it comes to messaging around his decision, Schumer isn't doing himself any favors. Here's what he told my colleague, Chris Hayes.
There's essentially an unconstitutional assault on the government right now. And I think you would agree with that,
There
right?
is.
An assault on the Constitution.
These guys are the worst, and we got to fight them every step of the way. As we say in Brooklyn, Chris, every step of the way.
Let's be clear. No one is enjoying this drama more than Donald Trump. Days after the president insulted Schumer, claiming he isn't Jewish and actually referring to him.
All right, that was messed up. But on the other hand, too, why is this happening? Why are we seeing the Democrats and the leadership fall apart? It's because of all of their propaganda. All right. Now, am I constantly pushing the envelope against the Democrats? To be clear here, yes, I've been extremely critical of the Democrats, more so than the Republican Party, because I know what to expect from the Republican Party. I know that this entire continuing resolution bill has been nothing more than a continuation of the Biden, Johnson, and of course, Schumer bill. You know, this was already going to happen. And yet, notice that the Democrats wanted to deflect it and say that this was going to be a Trump thing. And then when push came to shove, Schumer still wanted it to fund, because guess what? All those things that Doge cut is in this continuing resolution bill that Thomas Massey has pointed out. So in other words, we're still going to inherit a lot more debt. And guess who's going to be okay and go on vacation for a little break? It's going to be our fantastic politicians in the U.S. Senate and House. You're not upset about this? You're not angry about this? Because future generations are going to be inheriting the mess that these jagoff politicians have just bestowed upon us. And yet these are the same Democrats that are going to send you emails, text messages, phone calls, and knock at the door or send a letter in the mail saying, hey, can you donate some money? With what money? With the way things are going, pretty soon we're all going to be in a little cardboard box, remembering the times in which we used to live in a home or go to work. We will own nothing and be happy. We're destroying the future, or our politicians, to be more precise, are destroying the future, and that they put on the facade of being resistance. Geez, AOC, I'm looking forward to the next glorified protest that you're going to be at.
Him as a Palestinian, Schumer responded by giving him more power in passing this continuing resolution. Now Trump is thanking Schumer for doing the right thing. Trump even calls his caving a smart move. This is a complete self-inflicted failure of Schumer's leadership. While Schumer is reeling and his party is fuming, the opposition is gloating. Two Republican senators tell NBC News they believe they can now execute the same strategy in the future. We liked it over here, one Republican senator told us. And because of this backlash and because of how politics are played, I am sure that Schumer won't replicate this move. But this moment is not great for Democrats. After having several months now to unify a message and a platform to counter Trump, they haven't. As my colleague Hayes Browns writes for MSNBC Daily, in refusing to use every tool to stop Trump's violation of the Constitution, Schumer has already left an already demoralized Democratic base wondering when, if ever, the party's leaders are going to act like their campaign trail warnings about the threat Trump poses to the country will actually be reflected in their actions.
And they can't see. Here's the thing: the Democrats have no action. They don't believe in anything that they promote. Okay. So the thing is, we have no prominent leaders. We have no prominent fighters in the Democrat Party. All right. I want to pull this up here, right here. I want to pull up this little article right here. Shout out to Common Dreams. Call for U.S. Senate Minority Leader Chucky Boy Schumer to resign from his leadership post escalated on Friday after the New Yorker led 9 other members of the Democratic caucus in helping Republicans advance a GOP stopgap funding bill to a final vote, which, by the way, the bill was created when old man Biden was still around. And we're going to talk about old man Biden and the Democrats, because this isn't just a Schumer problem and the 10 Democrats, because, again, the Schumer with Republicans for the 62-38 procedural vote, which required at least 60 yes votes, are independent Agnes King of Maine, as well as Democrat Senators Catherine Cortez. We also got Dick Durbin from Illinois. Hey, Dick. Thanks for looking out for us, Dick. You've always been a good pal to the people of Illinois, Dick. Way to vote for this bill, Dick. Not that's going to cause any problems for the next generations, Dick. It's a great move that you did there, Dick. Way to represent the state, Dick. Our favorite senator in Illinois, Dick Durbin. Hey, Uncle Fester himself, John Fetterman. Christian Gillibrand. Oh, of course. Maggie Hassan. We also got Gary Peters, Brian Schultz, and Janine Shanine. Isn't that nice? Isn't that special? The Democrats have agreed to invoke cloture and the continuing resolution in exchange for considering 4 amendments to it. Republican senators then swiftly rejected Senator Jeff Merkley's amendment to restore Internal Revenue Service funding, Senator Tammy Duckworth's amendment to rehire fired military veteran federal employees, and Senator Chris Van Hollen's amendment to eliminate DOGE. The bipartisan majority also defeated Senator Rand Paul's amendment to codify DOGE cuts to the U.S. Agency for International Development, a foreign aid, into law. Senators then passed the stopgap bill. House Resolution 1968. The 54-46 vote was mostly among party lines, and Shanine and King voting yes and Paul voting no. President Donald Trump is expected to sign it. Isn't that special? But what does this tell you about the entire party, the organization of the Democrats? Not only in the House and Senate are we being screwed over, but there's nobody who's going to step up. You think it's going to be AOC? No, it's not going to be anybody in the squad. I mean, case in point, not only are they afraid of Nancy, but they're afraid of anything. Why do you think Hakeem Jeffries didn't want to answer about should Schumer be replaced? Because Hakeem Jeffries, who said he's not afraid of anything, is also afraid of Schumer. He's afraid of his party. I mean, remember this? I mean, we all laughed at this.
Fraudulent, something wrong with them, but there also needs to be reflection of okay, how could we have gone about it differently? Maybe that could be part of the conversation as well.
I think that they were scared. I think they were scared of Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say it again.
I think that they were scared. I think they were scared of Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me read you what AOC said in response.
Wait. Does that mean like they're afraid, but does that also mean you're afraid of Mama Bear Nancy?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm scared. She haunts me in my dreams. She is the evil deity that's haunting me at night. Hold on, let's actually rewind that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, we're afraid. But see, there's no prominent leader in the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party, it's all about continuing their power.
That was the value of Force the Vote. It exposed what AOC actually is. And then she actually gave a rare, and I believe you and I talked about this sometime back, she gave a rare, honest answer after the Freedom Caucus used Force the Vote, their own version, the right-wing version of Force the Vote. Obviously, the Freedom Caucus is horrendous, but it's the fact that they proved the lie in the squad by actually doing what we were saying the squad should do in favor of Medicare for all. And in response to that, AOC said, well, that if we had done that, that would cause relational harm.
And it really goes to show how much you need of a coalition in order to really forcefully negotiate for these things. So when people say, why don't we do this? First of all, there's a lot of cost and dysfunction. Second of all, those people who are holding out right now, they may have made certain structural gains, but they have also made incredible reputational and relational harm within their caucus. And so if you are trying to get something done within your caucus moving forward, you still need members of your caucus. And that at the core is an element of electoral politics that is simply inescapable.
Bingo. That is the truth that you will never hear. And she will probably never say this again because she's probably understood that, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. But it
Shama, language
reveals that is what happens. See, when you are, when you are a prominent leader and you actually stand up for working people, they meaning the Democratic Party, big business, the lobbyists, everybody, they will attempt to make your day-to-day life a living hell. And the only way you can protect yourself from it and also not sell out, not become marginalized, not become irrelevant, not sell out, win victories for working people, because that's the holy grail. That's what we want. That comes only from the kind of political clarity that we had in Seattle. And the crux of that is using your office to build mass movements so that, one, you are never isolated. They can't come after you without coming after tens of thousands of working people. But more importantly, it's not about you. It's not about your career or your well-being. It's about using those movements to win actual victories. And so one of the things I might mention, one of the things that might have been useful in the Bowman interview is to challenge him. He said, we can't win Medicare for all. We can't win 15. And he kept deflecting with dishonest arguments like, are you saying you're perfect? Are you saying you didn't do anything wrong? That is
crazy.
Bullshit. That is bullshit. That is meant to, it's a way of refusing to answer the question. I think the best way to put him on the spot would have been to say, well, Shama Sawant and the socialists won $15 an hour in Seattle, despite the opposition of the Democratic Party, despite big business going hard at them against 15, despite everybody, that even the labor leadership really not wanting to fight it, but we forced most of the labor leadership to fight alongside us. There were rare leaders like Paula Lukaczyk of the state employees union who fought alongside us, but most of the rest of them, we put our movement, 15 Now movement, put pressure on them. So that's an actual example. So for all the Bowmans and the AOCs who say nothing can be done, we have an answer.
So the problem is, though, especially when it comes down to this, because Shama Sawant's correct. Like, yes, we have to be active and actually have real people who want to fight back. The thing is, though, the Democrats are more than happy to poison any attempt. Now, when the workers, event was taking place, you had due dissidents covering it. You had a lot of people there. The Green Party was there as well. What was happening on that same day as well? You had Bernie Sanders, Senator Bernie Sanders, Also, you had Bernie Sanders also doing its own event too. You see, they're trying to rebuild whatever coalition that they lost. Now, they had the power, but they gave it away, especially when Biden got elected into office. As soon as Biden came into office, as soon as Biden sat upon the throne, the Democrats gave up any and all attempt, especially Bernie Sanders and the progressives, gave up any and all attempt to really fight back. And of course, you had the vote blue no matter who media sphere at its all-time height, ready to form that shield wall. You had TYT, you had Majority Report, you had all of these people who were against forced to vote, March for Medicare for All, because they told all of us we have to keep our powder dry. Keep the powder dry and everything will be fine. All the while to defend Biden and his policies, which again, this CR, this continuing resolution, all it is the legacy of the Biden administration. I know it's a rather a shock. So the reason why Schumer caved is because it was already set in plan. It's already been set in motion. All those Doge cuts are actually in this thing. So no matter what, we're going to get debt. So for those people that did vote no against it, hey, congratulations, you get a pat on your back. But it's probably because the Democrats, and maybe in the House, maybe saw the bigger picture and realized that, hey, they could do a filibuster too, but they're never going to do it because the Democrats like to roll over because they got a phone call from the donors, okay? That's all. It's all performative. If you think the Democrats had voted no on this, if you think that they had sincerity in their heart, well, maybe some of them did. The others, no. They were following orders. And now there's talk about, well, what comes next? Well, to the liberal people out there that are diehard Democrat voters, you don't have a leg to stand on because your party is a private institution. You just get a sticker that says you voted, and it's all performative. I want to pull up this article here because it shows you just how much of a waste of time the Democratic Party truly is. Case in point, Biden. Yes, we return back to him. This is a little bit off topic, but still on topic. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has insinuated that former President Joe Biden's wife, Jill, ran his cabinet meetings in his stead while he slept. So while Joe Biden was sleeping, dreaming of eating ice cream and being creepy around the pool, Jill was the boss girl running everything. And if this is said to be true, hey, we did it. First woman president. We did it, folks. Since assuming office in January, U.S. President Donald Trump has repealed a number of his predecessors' policies and repeatedly branded the octogenarian as incompetent. In a Fox News interview on Thursday, J.D. Vance was asked about the alleged tensions in Trump's cabinet following media reports of a row between Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Trump's government efficiency czar Elon Musk. Vance confirmed that parts of the rumor were true, but denied that there was any misalignment in the cabinet. The cabinet will need to solve issues without some random staffer leaking it, the vice president added, admitting he was annoyed by the leak. We're not going to have an administration where you have a president who sits there at a cabinet meeting asleep while his wife runs the cabinet meeting and nobody's doing anything. Trump repeatedly mocked his predecessor as Sleepy Joe in reference to Biden's multiple public gaffes during his term. Biden's mental state has become a major topic during the 2024 presidential campaign, and Republicans have often claimed that the octogenarian lacked the mental facility to be able to run the country. Well, they all knew he was a senile old bat. But returning back to the continued resolution bill and how the Democrats gave up power, this is a party that just has no consistency at all. Let's continue on. Shout out again to Case Study QB.
Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. There is this moment, I think it's fair to say, a broad frustration with what we just saw from a handful of Senate Democrats led by the leader, Chuck Schumer. Everyone from Senator Bernie Sanders to former Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger and lots of people in between opposed the effort to allow Trump's continued assault on the federal government. Folks wanted to draw a line in the sand and say we cannot operate under the normal set of political rules here. And as painful as shutting down the government might be, the Democrats, as the opposition.
Notice the sign, the resistance. The resistance, the pink pushy hat people. Listen, I've seen these pink pushy hat people. All what they do is they start somewhere downtown Chicago and then they march in front of Trump Tower. They're not going to do anything. They're just going to do their little whole fest protest, and that's it.
needed to use any leverage available to them. Leader Schumer and 9 other Democratic senators saw it differently. They all voted to move to a vote on the shutdown vote to continue to fund the government. It's dispiriting. It's even infuriating to a lot of folks. But we've been saying on this program, the bulwark against tyranny in this country is not politicians. It's us. All of us in every walk of life who hold fast to the American promise of government of, by, and for the people, not the debased whims of a wannabe dictator and billionaire weirdos. No kings, not ever. If there was any good news on this otherwise bleak day, it's every single hour of every single day, folks are waking up, and there is a dawning awareness that it's time to fight back. Donald Trump's...
Yes, but talking about fighting back, you know what it is? Here's how the Democrats want you to fight back. They want you to give them money. That's how the Democrats want you to fight back, okay? Here, look. Democrats, here. I recently got an email from the Democrats. I know I'm so special. Look at this. Hold on. Well, now, hey, Kit, can we ask you for a contribution of $10? Can we ask you for a contribution of $25, $50, $100, $250? I mean, my goodness, you know? Take a hint. I want you to F off. You know, I'm better off going to gotta be careful with YouTube guidelines. I'm better off going to a gentleman's club where the ladies are dancing ballet, a fun version of ballet. I get more of a return investment by putting my money there than giving it to the Democrat Party, asking me for money, asking me money all the time. I don't think so.
Project is as clear as day. He wants to dismantle the system of self-governance and checks and balances and to create a presidential dictatorship that does not depend on the will of the people. His model is Turkey, Russia, Hungary, places where the strong man rules no matter what, and you don't get a say, whether there are elections or not. That is his goal. It's clear as day. He basically enunciates it daily. And everyone else needs to be asking, how do you stop that from happening? How can you use whatever nonviolent tools are at your disposal to stop this unlawful power grab? How can we, as Americans, as supporters of democracy and the Constitution, build a united front across ideological lines in defense of marginalized people, the ones he's coming for first, in an almost literal reenactment of the famous Niemöller poem, in defense of working and middle-class people against the pillaging of oligarchs, heck, in defense of...
Shout out to Miguel H., one of our moderators. DNC, do not contribute. Because we know what happens when you contribute to the Democrats? You get nothing in return. Contribute to yourself, to house, to home, but not to the Democrats.
Elites and powerful people who are using their platforms and power to preserve the American way of life. Right now, it doesn't seem like Democratic leaders...
New Jersey native. Gonna take 3+ years to rebuild a Democrat Party. You are too generous, my friend. Far too kind, far too generous.
Understands that yet. But in many ways, and I know this sounds weird to say it right now.
Matthew Wayne, I thought this guy was Rachel Maddow for a second. That's funny. Get up, go see the White House counselor. Go.
They are simply not what's important here. Stay focused on what's important. People are what's important. We're what's important. Public opinion is what's important. Civil society is what's important. And it's getting activated and organized every single day. Every day, the movement is growing. I mean, Republican representatives are being told to stop holding town halls because their own voters will not stop showing up to yell at them about what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing.
I was proud to vote recently for the House budget resolution, which provides the framework to we should abolish the U.S. Department of Education. The decisions need to be made back on the state level. I believe that the president is very supportive of Ukraine. Like him or not, Elon Musk has brought a lot of really smart people.
Yes, and the Doge cuts are still in the continued resolution. So in other words, they're like anything that was cut It doesn't matter. It's going to get paid for.
To Doge. And you wonder why folks don't want to do these town halls.
Wonder. The protest against Musk don't end there. There's something really remarkable happening right now. I'm not sure people have really quite gotten their arms around this. We are seeing this organic bottom-up movement against Musk's signature company, Tesla. Some activists just put up a website with a simple message, right? Sell your Teslas, dump your stock. And then
yeah, that's going to really show Elon Musk. Yeah, dump your Teslas, dump your stock. Okay, what's stopping Elon Musk from buying back his stocks? Okay, not to mention, okay, I'm seeing people destroy their Teslas or get rid of their Teslas. Okay, you still bought it. It's just like all those dumb people who were burning up their Jordans, or either that burning up or breaking their coffee machines. Like, it doesn't matter. That's not going to scare anybody. What are you going to do? That's not how you resist.
And an entire Tesla takedown movement has sprung up in response. They've got a map where all the protests are planned all across the country.
Ever hear a thing called free press? Yes, protesting in front of a Tesla dealership. Yeah, that's going to do it. Guess what? Protesters, you do realize that you can't, that this isn't antiquity, okay? You're not Hannibal or Julius Caesar or Alexander the Great, and you're going to be forming siege lines and laying siege to the Tesla dealership. Some of you people got to go home, right? You're going to you do a little whole fest protest, and then that's it. What? Oh, hey guys, we're gonna really show them by protesting in front of the Tesla dealership. That'll scare Elon Musk. No, it won't. That won't do it. That's not how you do it.
It's been happening for about a month. This weekend alone, there are more than 100 protests planned at dealerships, Tesla dealerships across the country, from Brooklyn to Toledo, Dallas to Grand Rapids, Raleigh, dozens more. There are even, as you might see there, a handful planned in Canada and the UK. And I'm going to tell you something. I wager next weekend there will be even more, and the weekend after that more, because this is growing every single day. And it's not Democratic leadership in Congress.
No, they're not. All right. Last weekend, there was a protest in downtown Chicago. Only those lame enough to show up showed up. There was like 6 people at one of them. Sure, let's march downtown.
Organizing the protests. It's just everyday folks who are fed up and want to make their voices heard. And it's having an insanely...
That's in Chicago right there. I know that's in Chicago right there.
Outsized effect. I mean, Tesla's sales are just cratering. The stock price has seen all of its post-election gains vanish. Musk's personal wealth has declined by more than $125 billion since the beginning of the year.
Yes, but he's still a trillionaire. So what? Like, yeah, that's there's a little bit more that can be done. Because you do realize the Democrats have billionaires too. You do realize, because here's the thing, everyone's going after the Republican billionaires. Okay, what, you're going after Elon Musk? You're going after him? Okay, fine. Are you gonna have that same energy going after those Democrat billionaires? Yeah, probably not.
That's because of this. And that's why Donald Trump had to turn the White House into a car lot this week and cut an ad for his co-president's fleet of vehicles, while the Attorney General of the United States effectively tried to threaten folks with jail time if they voiced their dissatisfaction with Musk's company.
If you're going to touch a Tesla, go to a dealership, do anything, you better watch out because we're coming after you.
Wow.
And
Well,
if you're funding this, we're coming after you. We're going to find out who you are.
If you go to a dealership? No. We've all got a First Amendment right to stand on a sidewalk with signs outside a dealership. Doesn't matter what Pine Bondi says. By all accounts, this is not being funded by some big funder. It's a grassroots movement. Some people are organizing. They're putting up a website. And at any rate, it doesn't seem like those scare tactics are working. I would hazard they only make people want to protest more. Today, hundreds of veterans and their family members and loved ones rallied near Capitol Hill in protest of Musk's cuts to the federal government, many of which target veterans who worked in the government and have been fired or are serviced by the government directly. Yesterday, 100 demonstrators got arrested after hundreds more occupied the lobby of Trump Tower in Manhattan to protest the unlawful detention of the Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil. Again,
this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's taken a little while for people to sort of understand what they're seeing because it's shocking and it's surreal, but it's just the beginning. There's a lot more work to be done. So yes, some of the Democratic leadership is disappointing a lot of people right now, but they're elected to represent us. They're going to
Hold on. I'm seeing a couple of super chats here, and yes, I will acknowledge them once we get done with this horrible nightmare that is the DNC. Okay, I understand that MSNBC propaganda is a nightmare, but I'm playing this because what needs to be clear here is that this is corporate media trying to pull up the same tactic of trying to tell you, no, please don't give up, join the resistance, we're correct on all the issues, we're not incorrect, we know what we're doing, you have to believe in us. And no, we don't have to, because they give away power. When Trump was in office the first term, did you know that Nancy Pelosi supported a resolution and bill that would give the NSA more spying abilities? Yet, before she voted in support of it, she was screaming from the rooftop, going, "We gotta stop Trump! Trump's a bad guy! Trump's a bad person! We gotta stop him!" And no, Nancy, you didn't do that. Don't you find it odd that all the times when Democrats during Trump's first term, they still got bills done, they still passed resolutions, they still did everything? And then as soon as Biden got into office, boy, Democrats, you were voting on bills and resolutions and amendments and everything else that would have been click, copy, paste similar to what was being passed under Trump's first term. And now here you are, Democrats, especially with Chucky Boy Schumer, giving away all power again. And see, Democrats, all you do is give away, give away, give away. It's like you stick your rear end up in the air and you just like getting handled like that. And perhaps that's a perfect way to really describe the Democrat Party. People like AOC, people like Bernie Sanders, people like Schumer or Nancy Pelosi, because they constantly give up to the Republican Party. And both parties are corrupt. Both parties take corporate donations. Both parties are right now leading us into financial ruin, instability. And yet you have diehard voters on both sides, but it's a symbol of fear. See, the Democrats are so afraid of change that they don't really know how to adapt in these struggling and challenging times. And of course, when you do ask them to fight back, they can't. Here, let's laugh again together as a family.
Fraudulent, something wrong with them. But there also needs to be reflection of like, okay, like how could we have gone about it differently? Maybe that could be part of the conversation as well.
I think that they were scared. I think they were scared of Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
I think they were scared of Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
Let me read you what AOC said.
Wait. Does that mean like they're afraid, but does that also mean you're afraid of Mama Bear Nancy?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm scared. She haunts me in my dreams. She is the evil deity that's haunting me at night. Hold on, let's actually rewind that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're afraid. Cowardly lions giving away power.
And one of the things I saw you say, and this is really, I think, ironic, is, Democrats have been defenders of the filibuster because they say, look, it's sort of that door swings both ways. When we're in the minority, we're going to want to have the filibuster. Here was a cloture vote, a filibusterable bill. One of those things they need Democrats, and they just seem to kind of give that power away.
They didn't just seem to give it away. They gave it away. Here was this weapon that they claim we can't give up. We couldn't get rid of the filibuster because how else will we oppose the next administration? Okay, so you've got your weapon and you literally failed to use it.
And one of the things I saw you say, and this is really...
They gave it up. They gave up that secret sauce. Now again, huge shout out to Case Study QB. He is wrongly being censored, so please be sure to support him because this is what leads to the piece de resistance, the infighting.
What are Democrats doing? It's a question a lot of people have, including Democrats. And
you know what the Democrats are doing? Here's what they're doing. When you ask the Democrats, hey, Democrats, do you know what you're doing, Democrats? Are you confident in your ability to lead? Democrats, do you know anything about politics?
I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about politics.
And when you tell the Democrats to fight back, and when you tell the Democrats to please think about us, here's what they tell you.
And here's what I think about it.
And that's the truth of it. Because they have nothing, which leads them to always go down the pathway of being oofed.
Oof. 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 Oof.
Hey, it's funny. It's funny because it's true.
Complaining about the leadership has grown from quiet, behind closed doors murmurs to loud, very public bickering. It's so loud, in fact, that Chuck Schumer, the Democratic leader in the Senate and the party elder, has to say things like this after he joined Republicans to avert a government shutdown.
My job as leader is to lead the party, and if there's going to be danger in the near future, to protect the party. And I'm proud I did it. I knew I did the right thing, and I knew there'd be some disagreements. That's how it always is. I think I have the overwhelming support of my caucus, and so many of the members thanked me and said you did what you thought was courageous.
And everybody's asking for your head on a plate because the Democrats are like, we gave up our power. What did we get? What did you get, Chucky boy? See, now I'm laughing at this from the sidelines because I'm looking at all the people like the Kalinskis, the Majority Reports, the TYTs, all these people who were so smug, especially during the Biden-Harris administration. Oh, yes, that they know what they're doing, that they're going to lead us. Yeah, they let us right back into the crap creek, telling all of us, no, the water's fine. Disregard all the floating turds and shite all around us.
My caucus and I are in sync, and everyone knew what I was doing and respected it.
The old maxim in politics is when you're explaining, you're losing. But it's also true that when you have to say that you're on the same page, you're really not on the same page. The evidence of the latter is pretty much everywhere, like this reporting from CNN about Senator Michael Bennet, who erupted during a meeting, telling his caucus this week they have quote, no strategy and no plan and no message on this spending bill. Or the top Democrat in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, holding on to a life raft.
Senator Chuck Schumer is from your state. He clearly has a different view of this than you. He is not saying let's go back to the negotiating table. He's saying let's take this vote. So have you lost confidence in him, the fact that you guys see this so differently?
Next question.
Next question. None of it. Hey, and William Gaska says, stick your butt in the air and take it. Kit 2025. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're doing that all the time, every time.
Or this letter signed by 60 House Democrats scolding Schumer's plan to get along with Republicans on this spending bill. Democrats, yes, they are in disarray, but the Republican president, he's just fine watching Schumer and his party fight each other.
I have great respect, by the way, for what Schumer did today. He went out and he said that they have to vote with the Republicans because it's the right thing to do. I couldn't believe what I heard, but I think he's going to get some credit for it.
Even Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi put out a statement, a little side swipe here, saying that they should listen to people like Rosa DeLauro and Patty Murray, who have presented a case that we must have a better choice, a 4-week funding extension to keep the government open and negotiate a bipartisan deal. Listen to the women for the people. But I have to ask this question. Wasn't Schumer right at the end of the day that a shutdown would have been politically disastrous for Democrats?
No.
And practically disastrous?
For Democrats? Why for Democrats?
No.
We don't run the country. The Republicans run the country.
Boy, wow, man. CNN, you always have a panel of people who just don't know how to dress.
No. This the grassroots is furious, right?
I know,
Most of the caucus is furious. I never before. My parents were Democrats. I've been a Democrat my entire life. Never before did I say I should leave this party, because if democracy is at risk and you had no idea what to do and you have no plan, and even now at this moment you know nothing of what to do and you're capitulating to this is disgusting.
Are you thinking about leaving the Democratic Party? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Bull. No, you'll never leave. Hold on. Let me clear here. When you hear people like that talk like that on CNN, they're lying. They're lying. 8 years of the Democrats capitulating to the GOP. 8 freaking years. I've been covering politics for 8 freaking years. I've been doing this show for 8. I've been in the trenches, man. I think I'm going crazy here. I'm taking crazy pills. That's how crazy it's all going to be. I've been doing this business for so long, my head's been spinning for days. I'm supposed to think, and we're supposed to believe, that now all of a sudden they want to talk about leaving the Democrat Party? Are we talking about third parties? Are we talking about independents? Because I remember when CNN and MSNBC was vilifying independents and progressives and third parties. Hey, CNN, did you forget the 2024 election cycle? You were calling Jill Stein and RFK Jr. and Cornel West and the Libertarian Party a threat to democracy? That Trump was benefiting from them? I'm like, oh, wow. Great. So it's okay now, right? Stupid third parties. Oh, God. CNN and everything else talking about third parties and everything. Okay, great. Leaving. Say it again.
Should leave this party, because if democracy is at risk and you had no idea what to do and you have no plan, and even now at this moment you know nothing of what to do and you're capitulating to this is disgusting.
Are you thinking about leaving the Democratic Party? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, me personally, yes. I'm not an elected official, but I have always voted with the Democrats
over this issue.
Yeah, over the inability.
So he's not going to leave. Okay, good. He knows better. He knows better. He's not going to leave.
To figure out what to do in the face of fascism and the rise of Trump.
I hear you on that. The inability to have a plan is absolutely a problem, right?
And they don't have a plan. They don't have a plan.
But I'm really questioning, what is the plan after the shutdown happens? Because when a shutdown happens, people don't get paid. And this is not exactly an administration that wants to keep the government open. They actually want the thing to be shut down.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And I'm not a Democrat, never was. I was a lifelong Republican and quit the party over Donald Trump because he is someone who doesn't respect the Constitution and is trying to rule like a king. So, but look, I was part of the Tea Party movement. I watched what happened and how Republicans were a resistance opposition party when Democrats ran everything. And watching this happen now as someone who's an independent that's pro-democracy, that I guess you can say caucuses with the Democrats now, it is very frustrating. When you don't have a leader, there's no unification in a message. It hurts the grassroots and the troops that you need. Right. Could you imagine if, during World War II, and you saw what was happening with the bombs over London, and then, it was just like, Churchill's just going to say, we're going to capitulate now because, what are we going to do about it? This is not the way you lead. What happens is that the Republicans are...
But gee... Weren't you guys saying that that the Democrats know what they're doing? That Schumer never needed to be replaced? That all of this was all part of the plan? That no matter what, that this was the main goal? I remember all these great YouTube channels, Majority Report, TYT. They were all saying that no, we don't get it. That they have the bigger picture. That they have the big idea. The big plan. They are the guys and gals who know what's going on. And yet they're constantly giving us, again, all that Coca-Cola classic of Russian disinformation. They were saying that, oh no, we got to support the Democrats. We have to keep an eye out. We have to stand up against them. But when we asked them to do their job, when we asked them to fight back, they never did it. And we've all saw it. When it came down to leadership, they're afraid. I mean, they've always been afraid, right? Yeah, they have.
Fraudulent, something wrong with them, but there also needs to be reflection of how could we have gone about it differently? Maybe that could be part of the conversation as well.
I think that they were scared. I think they were scared of Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah. Look right there, the shame in his face.
Let me read you what AOC said.
Wait. Does that mean they're afraid, but does that also mean you're afraid of Mama Bear Nancy? Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm scared. She haunts me in my dreams. She is the evil deity that's haunting me at night. Hold on, let's actually rewind that a little bit. Yeah.
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 I don't think
Great admission. Yeah.
Yeah.
In charge, they have to explain why workers aren't getting paid. They need to explain why they can't run the government. And the Democrats need to say, we were fighting for you. It's not they're in charge. And show that people are being fought for. I'm watching what's happening. And when you have a demoralized base, you're never going to lead an opposition. If you don't have the chutzpah, if you don't have the intestinal
Have that chutzpah.
fortitude to lead, then get the hell out of the way, Chuck Schumer, and let the people who are willing to fight for their constituents lead the party. Because this is not the way to win.
Okay, she makes a compelling case that this is a leadership issue. Okay?
100%.
And I get that. Chuck.
Look, as the Democrat who gets Democrats elected at this table, with all due respect to all of my friends, there's
yeah, how'd you do this year, buddy? What's your numbers look like?
a lot going on all at the same time. And stay with the old Mexican redneck, and I'll talk slowly for everybody, is that when you're not in charge of jackass, you've got to do something. And to your point, there's a lot of people that feel like you feel about this party right now. And as you go through race after race after race, there was a whole bunch of people that voted for Donald Trump. Democrats first have to realize that and understand why they voted for Donald Trump. And then they should realize, what does it mean to actually fight? Democrats have been in charge for a long time. Some of the same people. I ain't got here to throw hate at nobody, but the anxiety is very real in America right now. And that's why Donald Trump was elected.
So do you think they should have stopped this thing and shut the government down? That is really the question.
Look, as the political consultant here,
it's not Dems shutting the government down.
Absolutely. That's what the Republicans would have said.
Let me
Democrats are
rephrase.
shutting it down. Let's just be clear. That's what it is.
Okay. The government would have shut down if there were not enough votes, if Democrats had not cast this vote. And that was a consequence of this.
Right.
Was that an appropriate consequence in order to do something, which is what the
You
base
saw two things happen at the same time. You saw Schumer said, I'm going to take these bullets for everybody. It may cost me my leadership position.
It should cost him his leadership position.
Democrats feel just like this right here. Throughout the country, we need them to show up in a midterm election. So I think
Here they go for the midterm. I only could stomach this for so long, okay? Because what they're offering here is more of the same. Just show up to vote. But when you show up to vote for the Democrats and you give them the House and Senate, what do the Democrats do? Well, it's not expedient enough to do it. You know, it's not politically smart. It's not expedient. It's not wise. There's a whole process. Yeah, we can't do anything about Roe v. Wade. Yeah, we really can't do anything about Medicare or Medicaid or Medicare for all. We can't do anything about student debt or investing in our infrastructure or putting in environmental protection laws or stopping political corruption or insider trading or stopping these ridiculous regime change wars. See, they're going to come up with excuses. I mean, when Obama had that supermajority in the Senate and House, they could have done, a more of a public option for the, Romney care. I mean, I'm sorry, Obamacare. I mean, that, Affordable Care Act that was from a Republican think tank that Mitt Romney supported. Obama couldn't, even when he had control of the House and Senate, nope, they weren't going to codify Roe v. Wade. Wasn't Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein, still a little bit more up and coming? Weren't they a little more active? I mean, you had two strong women Democrat politicians who didn't do jack. Oh my God, they didn't do jack at all. They couldn't do anything. They didn't do anything. We went from 2 wars to 7 under Obama. Soon as Trump got into office, the Democrats gave him a lot of things that he wanted. Then when Biden got in office, all the policies that were happening under Trump still remained, only except a shiny, brand new, brand spanking, beautiful neoliberal mask was put on all of it. And now the Democrats got a true ass whooping on November 5th, 2024. They lost the Senate, the House, CNN and MSNBC hemorrhaging views. They're talking about bring this fire and fury to the 2026 election. Well, what are you going to run on, Democrats? Stopping Republicans? Getting more seats to be that filibuster, that block? Impeaching Trump? Because those are the things that they're going to be running on in 2026. They're not going to talk about changing the party. They're not going to talk about reversing the entire policies of the Democrats. They're not going to change. They're not going to change. They are not going to change. And it's rather insulting. It's disappointing. And it's pathetic. And these are the same people who are then going to try whatever they can to control their narrative on social media. We saw what they did, especially during the 4 years of the Biden-Harris administration. I mean, my goodness, there was a lot of censorship going on, and there were a lot of vote blue no matter who people cheering that stuff on. And now that once again, the Democrats sell you down the river, hey, vote blue no matter who. Are you about ready to grow up? Because I'm tired. I'm tired of laughing. I mean, it's delicious, but after a while, I mean, don't you get embarrassed going downtown or getting in your car or meeting up with your friends and you have this political shiner on your eye? I mean, be brave. Walk away. Before anything else, there's something else I want to address on this show. And it's off topic, but I think it's only fair because I have to address it, and it does give me pause and concern. And I'm rather upset about it. Okay? And it has given me much to reflect on. And I just want to pull this up here, okay? Now, this is a tweet right now. This was from Rockfin. And I just wanted to address it because we did a live stream with Indy from INN News. We talked about it, and it's very clear to me that Rockfin has clearly changed the way it runs things. A little bit off topic, but I want to bring this up here. Number one, yes, we removed channels that were treating our platform like YouTube or Rumble. That's not what we are. We're a premium bundled network, not an ad-based platform. 2, we've evolved, and the landscape has too. Unlike YouTube and Rumble, we don't rely on advertising. We operate on a subscription model. If you had fewer than 4 paying subscribers over several years, this probably isn't the right platform for you. Listen, I'm not a business major, but, you know, Business 101, you don't tell people, like, hey, this isn't for you, because then no one's going to go to it. It's like telling people, yeah, this art exhibit, it's not for you, so don't show up. No, a talented artist, a talented businessman or woman would say, no, come here, check us out. Check us out, spread the word. Some channels are costing us thousands in streaming fees while having just 1 subscriber. That doesn't make sense for us. We've provided the space to grow, but not every platform is the right fit for every creator. That's what we call no bueno. This is not a smart move. And a lot of people like Slow News Day said, you never advertise yourselves as ad-free. You have gone out of your way to give the viewer a shiny experience. Your mobile app and live chat is trash, yet you raised your subscription price while offering nothing in return. Did you ever respond to Journeyman Wrestling? There's a little scanner like there. Hey, Mares, I'm so insulted by this sentiment that you position yourself as free speech hub or premium in the beginning, which is why I subscribed. You still take 1/3 of tips, free post or not, so very disappointed. Indy from INN says, another garbage post, good riddance. What is Truth podcast? Well, they say, please delete my channel completely. Thank you. You have a lot of people upset, and a lot of their followers have dwindled down to 0. So I want to address this thing with Rockfin, because if you haven't seen it already, I just want to pull it up here because it is rather important to me as somebody who has done interviews before and who has conducted some late evening live streams. A few weeks ago, I did a live stream with one good friend of the show. You know him, you love him. He's Indy from INN News. And I just want to promote this live stream again in case people have missed out on it or they didn't see it. But I think it's very relevant now. So let me just get this up here. Again, apologies, folks, for the delay. And I want to make sure that you guys get it before yourselves. But here we go. Let's do this, shall we? Why isn't it not cooperating? Cooperate. cooperate. Let me pull this up here. So here we go. Let me pull this up here. So in case you haven't seen it, it's this video right here. Rockfin and what is going on. This was 8 days ago. Indy from INN News joined. So if you haven't seen it, please check that live stream out. It's full entirety. Indy from INN News was correct about everything. So please be sure to support Indy. He has been doing a lot of great work. He's been one of the dauntless few, and I'm rather disappointed that Rockfin has gone down this path. Also, we did get a couple of Rumble rants and super chats here, and as promised, I will acknowledge them. First of all, GHU81 tipped $1. The Democrat fight is the same brave fight as the Blackhawks are showing tonight versus the Canucks. Ooh, geez. Hey, come on. GHU81 tips another $1. Did anyone vote for Trump to right now bomb civilized areas in civilian areas in Yemen right now, including using bunker bombs with the UK? Yemen is now saying that bases in Qatar is used in airstrikes will be targeted. JK Michael 1167 tipped $5. Kit, I am going to give you this $5 to stop BSDNC from broadcasting. Thank you so much for the $5 on Rumble. We do appreciate that. And also GHU81 tipped $1. But then again, did the Dems give you a choice when they said we will continue to help Israel's expansion and destabilization of the... No, probably not. Yep, exactly. We also got another super chat here. Let me acknowledge this one. Sip Sauce tipped $2.99 for a super sticker. Thank you so much for the super chat. We do appreciate it. And also, this was a huge win. And you know what? I'm going to stand up for this one because this deserves the full. People are actually saying in the live stream chat that when I do a late evening live stream, I don't wear pants. Well, first of all, shout out to our patron supporters. Kathleen Malice, you have edited your membership from $5 to a generous $20. Thank you so much for your generosity. We do appreciate it. That's why we love our Patreon supporters. It's because of all of you wonderful people who support us. We are grateful for it. And if you cannot do super chats or Rumble rants or PayPal or Patreon, here's what you could do to help out Hard Lens Media. Number 1, enjoy the show. Number 2, enjoy the show. Number 3, hang us a chat. And number 4, share our content on social media. It does boost up the algorithm and rhyme, so we stay one step ahead of the censorship, okay? Because that way we're still doing good, all right? And no, these are not artificial intelligence pants. And folks, I am saving up for movie night. We're gonna have ourselves a little special movie night, okay? And on Patreon, folks. I'm gonna give some hints about what movies we might watch. So Thursday night is movie night. You better get ready for it, okay? Get ready for movie night. We are back. Bad cookies. We are only going to watch Caligula as if we... Okay. Bad cookies. Here's how we're gonna watch Caligula for movie night. If we get to 100,000 subscribers before the end of this year, then yes, we'll do it. I'll add that in there. Not only will I wear a manly man's kilt, but we'll also watch Caligula, okay? That's what's going to happen. But I need everyone's cooperation. You want to see it happen? Help Hard Lens Media grow. That's what we'll do. And Mastermind, you're out Thursday? All right, how about Saturday night? We'll have a Saturday night at the movies. Hard Lens Media, okay? Movie night. Okay? That's what we'll do. We'll do that. Because I want my friend Mastermind to join us. But folks, yes, we are at the end. It's getting a little late here for yours truly. But I definitely want to thank everybody so much for joining and supporting. Please hit that like button before you leave, okay? Because it does boost up the algorithm and rhyme. I also put up a poll up here. Are you laughing at the Democrats failing? With over 96 votes in already, 92% said yes, 8% said no. So there you go, Mastermind. I'm glad you said it. You love me, as you should indeed. All right. And let's see. Smarty says, hard ticket to Hawaii for movie night. All right. I'll look that up. Maybe Maybe indeed. But Gators in the chat. I'll see you guys Monday, 9 a.m. Central. Please share this live stream. I will be time-stamping this as well, of course, making sure the people see the intro and the outro. We also got music by Jesse Jet. Jesse Jet, who is #1 in the hood, as always, because Jesse Jet's our main guy. We got to trust in Jesse Jet. Jesse Jet is the guy who knows what's going on, as he should, all the time, every time. All right. So I'm going to pull this up here and give this up for Jesse Jet. Let me make sure I get this right here. So give it up for Jesse Jet because he's #1. And if you want to help out Hardlands Media, folks, I'm also going to give this, share this right here as well. Here's our Linktree, Peachtree, Peacetree. So there you go. If you want to help us out, there's YouTube, X, Rumble, Kick, Discord, Patreon, PayPal, and Instagram. There's our Facebook, X, YouTube, and Instagram accounts right up there. You could find that in the description box below. So as always, please consider supporting us, helping us out. We got music by Jesse Jet. I'll see you guys sharp Monday morning, 9 a.m. Until then, take good care, have a great evening, and enjoy the weekend.
Last stand, and I came to deliver. Been called a Clinton operative, a Russian, and a grifter. By libs, a Washington student debt, proud to be an intern, sucking up to pigs who get a tax cut in the midterms. You cut the ties, but never heal the wrist burns. Capitalist shackles wrap and penetrate like ringworms around the necks of those whose deaths will not affect the king's purse or the coffers of the company the king serves, who manufacture mandated tinctures. They're safetied out of hanging from a fixture, half a mile skyward, just dangling from the rafters. My grift is sobbing till I'm cackling with laughter. I guess I would have made a decent actor. I'd be great at crying on command until they cut plus 40 minutes after. When the director waves a hand, it ain't a rap, it's now a legal matter. Honey, my grift is weeping on a mic until I'm hacking up airstrike verses like it's bombs away and batter up. Swinging on these bigots, they keep killing us to fatten up. Kill the switch, eat the rich, I think they're finally fat enough. Grab your knife and fork, the world is yours, just say you've had enough. And if you're comfy, you could go ahead and laugh it up. Tell me how the most important vote I'll ever cast is like the choosing of a bus, in that it might not take you anywhere you want, but no one can deny the fact the bus is now no longer where it was, and that's the kind of progress we should celebrate and trust. Spoken like a kid who never took a bus. Spoken like a piece of shit that used some cash to mask his stink and truly thinks he's one of us. Spoken like a terminally unserious person who equates our cries for rights to mixed up orders from a server. It paints a privileged picture of what you would label urgent if the worst thing you've experienced in life has been the time your waiter accidentally brought a tray of gold flake scallop when you clearly ordered gold flake urchin. And now you're storming out the restaurant and hopping in a Tesla. You got 80 pounds of Tony Fauci merchant.
Rewind to change won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. Air that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride. Rewind to a chance won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. Air that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride.
best to place your bets on weaponizing the identity of every limp progressive claiming grassroots integrity. Policy is a slippery slope for all of its complexity, so flex your brave resistance with this Ilhan Omar NFT. Numbered one of 723. Each depicts her valiantly championing a bill before she lays it at a donor's feet. And she can throw her hands up in the air with AOC and say if only Nina Turner could have voted present too, that's why we need another seat. We need some more progressives we elect to only tweet, who live to serve Humana and their label of elective slapped on every patient's gravest needs. And every station plays the theme that medical professionals agree on the effectiveness and safety of injections authorized for this emergency. And in purely unrelated news, the profits of the ones who manufacture vaccines just increased by nearly 36 billion with a fucking B. Sometimes it feels like we're the only ones that see. Sometimes it feels like all of us are lost at sea. And every time we think we see an island on the tip of the horizon, it turns out to be another measure making sure we're kept within the watchful eye of murderous authority. And so I guess my grift is crying for the future they denied us, where the people who would buy us are a mockable minority. And we are more than genomes under warranty. And we are more than serfs in constant quarantine. If I had a single breath left, I'd let the chorus scream. I'd announce our leaders claiming none for all and more for me. None for all and more for me. None for all and more for me. None for all and more for me.
Rewind to a chance won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. And that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride. Rewind to a chance won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. And that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride.
The Assembly will now hear an address by Her Excellency. I invite her to address the Assembly.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm starting to feel a bit used. I think guys are only interested in me for my accent. Like, I literally cannot start talking to a guy without one of the first things them say to me is something like, I'd marry you for your accent. Like, honey, yes, I know, I sound sweet like cornbread, but are you also prepared to deal with the fact that I am batshit crazy? I don't know if anybody's warned you about us Southern women, but if you piss us off, you better start praying and you better start running, because we'll kick your ass. And like, just so you know, it's a package deal. You're getting all of it. Are you prepared to deal with that level of crazy just because you like the way I talk?